There's a huge advantage creators have in 2026 that almost nobody is talking about, and it has nothing to do with your following size or your popularity. It's an advantage that belongs to real people with clarity and honesty and long-term thinking. And if creating has felt heavier lately, not because you're out of ideas, but because you don't want to chase the noise anymore, this is probably why. So over the past year, platforms have quietly started to change what they reward. Not in a flashy way, but a structural way, which is huge for new creators. And once you understand what they're optimizing for now, you stop chasing attention and you start focusing on building something real. This shift isn't theoretical either. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. The platforms themselves are saying this directly. For example, the CEO of Instagram has nonstop been explaining that Instagram's going to be moving more into time spent, as well as sending and sharing stuff and saving things, not just likes, views, or follower growth, things that have a real impact, things that you would want to share to a family member or a friend, whether it be informative, funny, or just personable. In other words, did somebody stay? And did it matter enough for them to pass it along, regardless of the production value and quality of the content? Meta has been explicit lately saying that their systems are changing to be optimized for more meaningful content and focusing on long-term retention, not just surface level reach. They're caring less about what pops once and more about what brings people back. Now, it's not just Instagram and Meta that's been very vocal on this. YouTube has been as well. They've openly said that watch time, session depth, and viewer satisfaction are core metrics to their ranking system. It's so impactful that YouTube just announced coming into 2026, they're literally rewriting how they filter things. It's no longer going to be by view count, for example. Instead, view count is going to be replaced by popularity. That's not just a UI feature, that's a clear sign. It tells us that the system understands now that raw views don't automatically equal value. Simply put, platforms are no longer going to optimize for what looks impressive. They're just going to flat out optimize for what keeps people engaged. And this is why we've seen such a trend lately of more raw videos doing well. Uncut, unfiltered, not as high quality content is pushing to the top. Even older, longer narrative videos from back in the day are pushing and filtering out more. Because the reality is a smaller audience that stays for a specific creator is more valuable than a large audience that just scrolls past. Retention beats reach, and this is where a lot of up-and-coming creators, like I said, should be really, really excited, because this is where you can really focus on your true craft and your hobby and what you're genuinely into. And your 10,000 viewed video that's targeted specifically to your audience will do better than a 100,000 viewed video that just got a lot of clicks from clickbait. The algorithm is switching from asking, did this go viral? And it's focusing on, did this matter enough for somebody to stay? This is why you've heard a lot of us creators mention authenticity moving into 2026. That's because it stopped being a buzzword and it's going to be actual input into a strategy of how you should be handling your content. We're seeing a huge trend already in content that feels lived in is getting pushed towards the front. This is real stories and real experiences that bring a viewer in and let them relate in some way to the creator, like specific experiences instead of generic advice. Raw, honest wins and losses. Humans can recognize a real signal instantly, and what's good is the platforms are getting better at recognizing it too, which means another big shift is storytelling is starting to outperform information. Look, information is everywhere now. AI's made damn sure of that. But what's scarce is context and conviction and like the relatability. Like, how can I explain to you guys something that I've went through or I've experienced that can teach you a lesson? But instead of just saying, hey, do this thing, how can I share with you that I've gone through this thing where I learned from it and now you can learn from it? It's the perspective, the lived in experience. Here's what happened to me, and how we can learn from it is going to be, here's what you should do. Process is going to beat perfection. Narratives are going to beat bullet points. People don't just want answers anymore. They've gotten answers everywhere over the fucking internet for the last like 5 to 10 years. They want real experiences that they can relate with. And platforms are starting to reward creators more than ever that are doing that. What's so interesting about this is the creator culture in itself is starting to shift as a parallel with this. Burnout from chasing virality is super real. It defeats creators, and viewers can see that a mile away. Here's the reality. Audiences are tired of being sold to, and creators are tired of constantly just trying to sell themselves. Like, I don't want to have to fucking pretend to get you to like me for views. So we're almost seeing this like 2015 era again, where people are building in public, smaller and tighter communities are having huge explosive moments in this like general direction where people are focused on building trust over just getting attention. And the platforms didn't just start this shift. They're the ones responding to this. Organically, this is just the direction that viewership and content creation has led to in 2026. So if you're creating content in 2026, the winning strategy looks less like hacking the algorithm and more like aligning with it, treating the algorithm in itself like your audience. That means optimizing for retention, not for reach. So just making sure the story is king, with sharing real experiences and not just opinions, talking to people, not at them, and thinking long-term, not just viral first. So it's more important than ever to make sure you're starting off becoming the brand that you want to be. It's a slower game, and the dopamine of the big numbers is going to die down, but it's going to be a more durable one long-term. 2026 isn't about being louder. It's about being more clear. It's about being more precise in your actions to bring in the people that you would genuinely fuck with. Creators who adapt to this early and build for depth instead of an applause are going to gradually grow a solid foundation while everybody else just chases the spikes. And honestly, to me, I don't hate that. I feel like it's a much better version of the internet. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have started to notice any of these shifts. I've been adapting to this myself coming into the new year. The video is helpful in any way. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.